Okay guys, I'm back. I have set up my laptop over here and I am watching this Creality setup and calibration guide for perfect 3D printing. I think some of you have probably seen this. I thought that his process seemed to be pretty thorough, and I've already noticed a few things from what he's posted that I find extremely useful. So the first thing that I did was I took off the bed, and as he noted, only 3 of the rollers have washers on them, and those are the 3 that have the offset bolts or offset shaft on them that allows you to dial in the bed rollers to tighten the bed. So I took those off, all 6 of them. I put 6 new washers on. There's really not much to see in there, but it is what it is. It's the washers. So I made sure that all the washers were the same thickness, and or at least within a fraction of a millimeter. So once I finished that, I actually spent about 15 minutes setting the wheels and the tension on the wheels. And what I did was I loosened all 6 of them and started on the side that doesn't have the I'm not sure what you call it. Maybe it's an offset washer, offset sleeve. That it actually is an oblong washer that pushes that wheel into the rolling mechanism. So I loosened all 6 of the wheels. I tightened the ones that did not have the offset washer in first to make sure that they were all seated and tightened evenly. And then what I did is I took the 2 outside wheels and I made sure that the offset was in the furthest out position. I noticed that these are a little tricky, and with going back and forth between the 2 outside wheels, I was able to draw the tension in perfectly. So if you think about a square with 2 wheels in the center, and you tighten one corner tightly, and then you try and tighten the other one, you're actually adding tension to the first wheel. So what I did is I made them all barely touching the center shaft. Not sure what you call all these things, but anyway. And I went back and forth until they were just touching, so that there was enough tension so that when you pull or when you roll one wheel, both sides roll. Both wheels are touching. At this point, my center wheel was still loose because I had not changed the offset washer on that one. So, same process I went through with that one as well, making sure that each of them were tightened the same amount. I've got now a very solid but very free-flowing platform. There's very little tension on it, but it is not. There's no play in it at all. So I think I've got that dialed in. So I've moved on to my platform. There's been a lot of talk about these aluminum beds being out of level. When mine came in the package, it was out of level before I took it completely apart, and that is because the tension on two of the springs was tighter than the other ones. Once I released the entire bed, right now it's not even attached, it's completely free floating. And what I've done is I've taken my in this case it's a metal level, and it is perfectly flat. And I've tested this on all 4 corners and diagonally on my bed, and I've found that there is no gap. There's nothing. So I'm starting with a perfectly level bed. This is obviously critical, and what I hear is a lot of people complaining about those beds not being level. So my recommendation is to take the bed completely off, or at least to take the screws completely out so that there is no tension on any one of the corners, and then dial it in from there. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to put my screws, my leveling screws, back in, and I'm going to draw them all down until the bottom of the screw is coming out of the bottom of the level of the leveler screw. So it goes in that way. I'm going to make them all the same tension, assuming that these are all dialed in the same way. And I will begin to check from corner to corner and side to side the levelness or flatness of my aluminum bed. So give me a few minutes to do that, and I will be back.